Vattenfall Heat UK had never taken a placement student because they're a brand new company. So to take two of us into their central London office felt like some crazy dream.
Hannah Spurgeon and Lina Drozd are engineering students from the University of Bristol who have spent the last 12 months in industry placement with the Vattenfall Heat UK team. At the end of their placement, we caught up on video conference to reflect on their year. I'm Jim Christian. Welcome to Talking Heads. How would you sum up the last 12 months of working with us here at Vattenfall Heat UK?
I would say the last 12 months have been exciting. There's been lots of exciting moments. It's been a huge learning curve. I feel like in a way I've learned more across these 12 months than maybe ever before, because it's just a completely different way of learning and being so deep dived into one sector of the industry. So a huge learning curve, and also really fun. They're the three key things that stand out.
Yeah, I can echo that. It's been really, really fun. It's crazy to think it's been a year, because looking back at the start, I feel like I have such a different view of how the business operates, and how these big projects are run. So yeah, learned so much, and just been so great to be completely in the deep end with the team, and kind of picking things up. So it's been really exciting to be at the start of the journey with Vattenfall when we just had one project when we started, and now we have so much more going on. So to have been part of the journey has been really incredible.
If you had to go back 12 months to the very, very start of your internship and give yourself a bit of advice based on what you've learned now, what do you think that might be?
Go and talk to more people and ask more questions. I think that's one of the highlights. It's been really great because the work's been really varied. So you get this bigger kind of perspective and you see the bigger picture, but at the same time, it is quite hard to see how it all fits in. So make sure to kind of understand what you're doing. Where does that fit in the bigger picture? And ask why. Always ask why you're doing something.
I'd never worked in a job where I had to have this level of understanding of everything. And I think I probably put too much pressure on myself at the start to already have understanding that the team knew I wouldn't have, because we come from an engineering degree background, not an industry background. So ask all the questions and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Is there anything you found yourself excelling at that you didn't expect to find yourself excelling at, and kind of thrown against the coalface of working in industry?
I think I'm not a shy person, but in terms of speaking up for myself within teams, and making sure to always have an opinion, I think at points previously my self-confidence hasn't been there to do that, even in terms of being involved in university teams, where we've worked on projects at university. So I think something that I've had a lot of positive feedback on is the way I work in teams and the way I contribute and actively participate in meetings and presenting and things like that, which are things I always thought were weaknesses of mine. So it's been really interesting to, I think, see my development in personal confidence mean that I've actually developed professionally too, in terms of talking.
Being a lot more comfortable speaking out and putting yourself out there, and even if you don't know something, to raise your hand up and say, could you help me explain it? And a lot of the times it raises other questions within the team and kind of helps everybody else in a way, because you had to get everybody on the same page. And I think another one for me has been kind of being always curious, and that's really I had positive feedback on, is kind of always being up for doing anything and whatever kind of is needed to kind of put your hand up and like, yeah, I'll help. And I think that really comes through because of having such a great team environment, that you want everybody to do well, and you're happy to do kind of whatever will suit the team. So yeah, having this kind of collaborative space, that's been good.
What were your first impressions of the team when you joined?
I think you could really feel the energy of the office from the first day, that everybody was so excited. And when we first joined, we were bidding for a project, so you could kind of feel this rush and excitement to go after. And it was so nice to be in an environment where like you could really tell that everybody wanted to be there. It's not this kind of 9-to-5 culture where everyone just does their hours. People really wanted to give their best and deliver in this way. So that was really nice to have that excitement and that buzz of the office. And everybody just was so welcoming. And when we joined, they were like, yes, like, come, we'll do this, all these things, and we're gonna build all these amazing projects. So from the first day, it was just like this, buzz.
Yeah, I remember just feeling on the first day, like, inspired, because exactly what Lina was saying, like, everyone was just so get up and go. Like, we were in the middle of this crazy bid process, which was super short term. And so our first 2 weeks the team was so hectic and busy with preparing everything that we needed. So it was great to really be thrown in the deep end. And I loved that because it was like a sense of trust from the team from day one, that they could give us something and we'd just do it. Like, we'd work out how to do it and we'd ask the questions that were necessary in order to get something done. And being trusted like that so early on, I think was really crucial in then us developing further as the months went on.
You've both been integral to the growth of the team over the last 12 months. So what do you think now that you're kind of leaving, what are your impressions of the team now?
There's so many more people who are experts in so many more fields. There was already like loads of experts in heat networks, but now we have people from all across the country, other people who have come in from Vattenfall to help us. So I think the expertise has increased.
And I think it's been nice so in this time that we've been here, now we have more introduced more processes and ways of working. It's been really nice to seeing that we contributed to that, and then seeing that these processes that are in place will kind of feed into for many years to come, and like they will obviously evolve, but having kind of put it in the start and having a say on how things are set up then makes a really good foundation for how the projects will run. So it's been a really nice to see that we contributed to these processes and setting up the business. I think that was one of the biggest challenges as well, is not having a way of how things are done. So a lot of the time at different places you might have an example or you know how things are done, whereas a lot of the times if we didn't know the answer, a lot of other people didn't know the answer. And so you had to figure it out yourself completely from scratch and figure out the process, make the template. And that was quite scary sometimes because they're just like, it's so open-ended, but that's also been one of the greatest things. And we could put in our creativity and our opinions of how things should be done.
Yeah, I would say the level of responsibility that we were offered in terms of that kind of stuff was really, again, linking back to the trust point, it was just so nice to be trusted on that level, and for people to just hand us something and let us run with it and come up with how to do it and then just present it back and workshop it.
What will you take away going forward to wherever you're going next? What will you take away from what you've learned from the last 12 months?
Definitely how many opportunities there are and how complex this industry is, like seeing the energy industry and just how big it is and how many amazing people are working within it, and really appreciating the whole picture, kind of the commercials, the legals, the kind of government regulation, and seeing how much there is within that. So I think that's been really like an amazing to see the whole industry from all angles.
Yeah, I think that understanding has been like vital in informing decisions like what I want to do when I go back to university, and starting to think about where I'll move on from in university. Having the industry understanding of how it actually works is something I think I thought I probably kind of knew, but actually when you work in this industry, you realize like we just work in heat. And renewable energy and renewables and the climate change movement is so huge. And even being such a small part of it, heat networks are even huge in themselves, like the heat networks market and industry. So I think you realize the scale of opportunity, especially in the space for decarbonizing cities and energy ecosystems. It's just, I feel like I'm going back to university even more excited to try and continue contributing towards this same cause of obviously fossil free within a generation was the first thing that attracted me to want to work for Vattenfall, because that overall movement and excitement is felt within the team and everything we do, and that kind of passion is something I definitely want to carry forward into the projects we go on to work in university.
I think one thing I've really appreciated is that everybody within the industry is kind of in this together. There isn't, you have your competitors, but going to industry events, even some of our competitors, everybody kind of has the same goal, and that's been really motivational. That it's driven by this purpose to decarbonize and to meet the climate challenges as a whole industry group. So that's been really motivational.
Any standout favorite moments from the last year?
I think it's been so great to have access to everything else that Vattenfall does. So we're just the Heat UK, but then in Sweden and Germany and in Netherlands, they have so much cool stuff going on, and having being able to access that and talk to the people, like even if they're in Sweden, just if you're interested in something they're doing, they're so welcoming to you. Just kind of ring them up and ask them questions. And so they have this platform where people work on projects no matter what country you're on. So you can, if you have some time, you can go and see all the development and innovation that's happening within Vattenfall. So that's been so great. And we had these mystery coffees where you get paired up with somebody from a different country and you just kind of get to talk to them and see what they're doing. And that's been so amazing to be like you're part of this kind of bigger movement of people all kind of working towards the same goal, but doing so many different things. So that's been really inspiring. And there's just, again, shows all the opportunities that are out there. I think generally it's like, looking back, I can't think of a better placement here. Like, I can't imagine having a greater variety of work, having a better team, being in such a great location. So just overall, when I think about it, I'm like wow, it's been best year in terms of anything. It exceeded all my expectations. So it's sad to leave, but I'm so excited to go on to do and develop some of the things I've learned. And it's really nice to feel like we've made a home here. I think that's been really incredible to have the team really support us and have our best interest at heart. So I really value that.
It was emotional, actually, to think that like the year is over, and we handed over yesterday kind of to one of the one of the new placement students who's coming in. And so it was just really, it's just been a very reflective time, thinking about how great the 12 months has been, and generally just feeling so grateful for the opportunity, because Vattenfall Heat UK had never taken a placement student, because they're a brand new company, before they took us. And then so to take 2 of us into their central London office felt like some crazy dream, because we were both so excited to work for Vattenfall and work in the low carbon energy infrastructure industry, and then for the placement to just be so genuinely interesting, exciting, inspiring, and like to learn so much. It's like I can't even comprehend like the level of understanding I now have about heat networks.
Any final comments for the team?
I think like keep up the energy and the spark, and the commitment.
The spark is what makes the team such a great place to work, and it's what really makes the team its best, because it's what enables creativity. So keep the spark and don't forget us.
I know that the team will go on to achieve great things, and everybody's going to grow and develop into and achieve everything they want to. I have no doubt about that. So just wish them best of luck, and I'm excited to see how the team grows.
Yeah, we're
Cool.
so excited to see the projects become real and Vattenfall Heat delivering heat. It's going to be so exciting.
All right. Well, listen, I'll let you go. Thank you again so much for agreeing to do this, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you both.
Bye.
Bye.